Welcome to this video about the most famous prison break in American history, the escape from Alcatraz. Alcatraz Island was once home to the most notorious and dangerous criminals in the United States, including gangsters, serial killers, and bank robbers. It was widely considered to be the most secure prison in the world, and escape from its shores was thought to be impossible. However, on June 11, 1962, 3 prisoners managed to make a daring escape that would go down in history. Formerly a military base, the high-security prison Alcatraz sat on a 22-acre island known as The Rock, about 1.25 miles away from San Francisco. Because of this, the prison was deemed inescapable. The water surrounding the prison hovers around 48 to 54 degrees all year, along with strong currents. As time went on, the prison would fall into disrepair and the budget to fix numerous problems was limited. This would become a resounding factor in the inmates, Clarence Anglin, John Anglin, Allen West, and Frank Morris escaping. It was reported that West approached Morris with the plan to escape in early 1960. West knew of a ventilator cover in cell block B that might not have been sealed over with concrete like the majority of the vents. If this was true, it could provide them with a way to get on the roof of the prison from the inside. West also began working with the maintenance crew that provided him insight into the building's structure, layout, and weaknesses. By September 1961, the Anglin brothers, John and Clarence, Morris, and West requested cell moves that made them closer to each other in cell block B, directly under the unsecured vent. All cell moves were approved. The plan to escape was undoubtedly bold and ingenious. Phase 1 involved creating a head start to provide them enough time to tackle the 1.25 miles to San Francisco. They created a diversion by painting dummy heads which were made from a plaster-like mix of soap, concrete, and other materials completed with real human hair. They laid the heads in their beds to fool the guards, and sure enough, on June 12, on the morning following the escape, when the 7 a.m. bell went off to wake the prisoners, guards discovered that the prisoners were still asleep in their beds. It wasn't until one of the guards reached into Morris's cell, pushed the head, and it fell onto the ground that the guards realized that something was wrong. To this day, the dummy head still bears the damage that resulted in this fall. It's unknown who exactly came up with the idea to make dummy heads. However, Clarence worked as a barber and had access to hair trimmings. Either way, phase 1 of the plan was a success. After laying the dummy heads in their beds, the gang moved on to phase 2 of their plans to escape the inescapable prison. The men went to work on busting out of their cells. All 4 of them had 5-inch by 9.5-inch ventilation grates in the back of their cells. Perhaps it came from his time in maintenance. West knew that the wall surrounding the grates was less than 6 inches thick, making it possible for each man to expand the hole in their cell to fit through. For months, the prisoners spent time drilling small, close-knit holes around the cover of the ventilation grates using crude handmade tools like spoons stolen from the kitchen and a drill made from a vacuum cleaner motor. These holes made it possible to remove the entire small section of the wall around the air vents, which they covered with their musical instruments or fake covers made of cardboard. These holes allowed them to access a utility corridor that was directly behind their cells that was typically left unguarded. From there, they were able to climb up to a hidden land area directly above their cell block where they had been working in secret for several months. In this area, they were able to make the dummy heads, tools, and other items they'd use in their great escape. However, it's worth noting that West never made it to this landing spot during the escape because he was unable to break through the last portion of his wall around his ventilation grate. Consequently, he was left behind. From the landing, the trio was able to climb pipes to the ceiling and reach an air vent that they had previously pried off to ready their escape. Experts say that a sound that was heard around 10:30 p.m. was the sound of the air vent cover being pushed off on the roof. They then climbed down the roof via a pipe to the back of their cell block, climbed the 15-foot fence, and made their way to the north shore of the island. To escape the island, the prisoners had made life preservers and a 14-foot rubber raft, all made from prison-issued raincoats. They gathered over 50 raincoats for the job, possibly stitched them together using sewing machines, and vulcanized the rubber coats by holding the seams up to the heat from the steam pipes. The raft was inflated by using a concertina. Once it was realized that the prisoners were missing, Alcatraz went into lockdown as a search began. Guards quickly found the hidden workshop, the hole in the ceiling, and footprints on the roof and on the ground of the pipe where they climbed down. The FBI joined the case as well as the Coast Guard and the Bureau of Prison Authorities in a wide-scale search, but the escapees, as well as their raft, were never seen again. So, what really happened to Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin? The truth may never be known, but the story of their escape from Alcatraz continues to captivate people to this day. Thanks for watching this video about the escape from Alcatraz. I hope you found it informative and interesting. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating history content.